Hello, gay men.
And
Instead
women.
of amen, it's gay men.
Women.
Welcome to Coming Inside Out. I am John Duerler.
I'm Brian James.
And welcome, listeners. Hope
Yes.
you're doing well. Listen, I'm going to tell you something.
Tell me.
I am not that
Gay?
I'm not that gay, but I am technically challenged. I
Me
really
too.
am.
Me
But,
too.
you know, it's so funny. Before we got on the air here, we were talking about somebody sent me a friend request.
Yes.
So I guess some people are sending me, but hell, I never accept or something's going on with my. You hear that?
I do, but
Anyway, we'll just
they're
keep
not
going.
going to hear it.
So I apologize if you've sent a friend request to me on Facebook, because it is John Michael Duerler.
Okay.
Yeah, on Facebook.
All right.
And
The
so,
whole name.
So please just reach out. I will. And there was a guy named, was it?
Are we saying people's names?
No, we won't.
Right, we won't.
But he wrote in, so we're going to read what he wrote in. But I don't want to lose thought about this because we were talking before. This, we want to definitely go over people trying to steal your identity or at least blackmailing you because you're gay. And if you've been on a site or an app or Grinder, you know, they're always saying, you know, I'm looking for a friend. I want to be a friend. And, you know, what do you do? You know, they jump right into it. And beware. Because if you
and we're gonna, I have that for us to talk about too.
We're going to talk about
We're
that.
going to get
so let us not forget that.
Yes.
But I just wanted to share that. I mean, this is very important, but also what's important is I just need to educate myself better with Facebook.
And I'm going to jump back to Facebook with you and people sending in friend requests. Also, in addition, if you've sent John a Facebook friend request and he hasn't responded, or if you've instant messaged him,
yeah,
he does not know where instant messaging in the Facebook app is. So I just showed that to him. So there could be, you know, 50 people that have written in to John specifically, but he hasn't looked
I tell you what, there's a new thing here. If you want to fax me, you can totally fax me. I totally know how to work the fax.
You know how to work a fax machine.
Absolutely. So maybe y'all haven't heard of it.
Or maybe type him a letter and mail it.
Mail it.
All right, we're going to read a couple emails.
Lay it on. Or I'm reading.
You want to read?
Yeah.
Here, you read one. I'll read this one.
Okay.
That one.
All right. You want to go first? You go first.
Yeah. Okay. So this one came through Facebook. It says, "Hi there. Just wanted to say hello. I've been listening to your podcast, and I wanted to say I've been enjoying it. Thank you for sharing your story."
Well, that's sweet. Thank you. Absolutely. Here we have. I just read your latest podcast. I couldn't listen right now, so I read it. I love that there is the transcript option. First off, another great one. Thank you. Secondly, I have listened enough and I know you well enough that I could totally tell who was saying what as I was reading, and I could hear both of your voices saying it. Creepy, huh? You're both doing a great job, and tell Big John if he had accepted my Facebook friend request, I could tell him too. LOL. Well, you're absolutely right about that. And I just accepted.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Right.
So hopefully he'll see that before he hears the podcast.
I hope so. He says, keep it up. The podcast is great, and so are you. I hope you're having a great day and that you have a great weekend. Very nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Two thoughts on that real quick.
Yeah.
I do the transcripting on these at the end.
Yes,
the transcripting is a pain in the ass.
What,
and it's
don't you like that?
Yeah, I probably would like it. I don't know.
It's too easy.
But it's, you know, it's like maybe 80%. So if, you know, the transcripting doesn't match up 100%, I apologize. I'm doing my best with that. So, all right.
No problem.
And then also, 2 podcasts ago, we thought we hit the off button, and we didn't. And we recorded for like another 12 minutes afterwards.
Just talking?
But it was just you and I having casual conversation.
Did you leave it?
I left a portion of it. So I left about 5-6 minutes. So it's like bonus footage.
Really?
Yeah. But I did that on purpose. Because I thought, rather than us being on, they'd be able to see us just having conversations about the podcast also.
Well, good.
One thing I was going to talk about, or I was going to start with, is I got a phone call from one of our listeners. It started out as an instant message. Hey, he sent me an instant message. I responded back, and it kind of turned into this dialogue between us.
Through Facebook.
Through Facebook. And here's that's exactly what you said not to do. And I gave him my phone.
Oh, shit.
I'm out. I don't care. And so he called me.
Wait. Yes. It's not out. I don't care. You will care when they steal your identity.
Yeah. Okay.
So
all right.
That
I
is what we want to talk about today.
But I research. So if somebody sends me a Facebook instant message thing, I will look. If they have one mutual friend and they don't have anything, I'm a little smarter about that. But this guy reached out to me. He said something nice about the podcast. I knew he was a listener. We ended up talking for a couple hours. He was thankful. Several episodes ago, I talked about suicide. I talked about my going to Big Bear and that whole thing, what was happening then. So he was thankful that I shared that. And we had like 2 hours of conversation, and it brought up some memories for me that I thought I would share a couple of them.
Please do. One
of them was, and this goes along with your don't give away your information.
Okay.
One of them I shared with this guy. I was in Big Bear. It's about 1:30 in the morning. My younger son was with me. And at 1:30 in the morning, comes in my bedroom, just panicked. Dad. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, where's your phone? Dad, please, where's your phone? And I'm like, what is it, buddy? What is it? And he's like, Dad, please, just give me your phone. I said, okay, it's on the nightstand. And he's like, what's the password? Dad, please. And he's just like, panicked. He just has all this panic 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh, here's the passcode. I'm like, what is it? And he said, oh, Dad, I did something so stupid. And I said, what did you do, buddy? And he said, he's like, I sent somebody a picture, and now they told me if I don't send them $300, they're going to send that picture. They hack into your Facebook or whatever they hack into. They're going to send that picture to the whole family. And I was like, oh, my God. I was like, oh, buddy, I'm so sorry. Was your face in the picture? And he said, no. And I said, then give me back my phone. We're not sending anybody $300.
Right.
And I thought, lesson for him.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it afterwards. But it was like, if somebody sent a dick pic and there's no way to identify you.
Well, my name is
your family
tattooed on me. With my phone.
On your balls.
Well, the balls, yeah.
John Michael Duerler.
Yeah. I mean, it can, I can, and there's another paragraph written on it as well that has
DMD. There's a paragraph. And you can only read it when he's excited. Let me
tell you.
It's a nonsense. It's a real nail biter. So he was
like the point. He was short,
Yeah, so he sent somebody a dick pic, and it wasn't really who he thought it was, and they were going to use it against him. And if that kid had a bank account and $300, he would have sent it.
My son did that too, and we finally found it. He was able to take it off some site.
But they posted his.
Well, I don't know. It was a fight, and they and it wasn't. To this day, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was his dick or if it was his body.
Okay,
but I don't think it was his face. He said, and his mom.
Maybe it was the tattoo artist that maybe did your book for you. Your short story. The end.
But this is a good point. This is really important. And I'm so, and it's true. You're sending a dick. You're not sending your face. However, with AI and everything today, people, and that's the other thing about AI. If somebody says, "Oh, that's you," said, "Fuck that. That's AI. I never sent that picture."
Oh, there you go.
So there's one excuse that you can use. But what is really important, what I've come across, are these. They're supposed to be out of, and I went to the police department and everything because it was scary. It was, and they invaded, and they pulled stuff up They talked about my mother. They talked about my sister-in-law. They talked about my
they
brother.
research you. They want you to know.
Yes, they go through everything because everything is out. Well, coming out. We're all coming out. But what? Because he thought, or whoever it was, because they have a whole team that is working.
This is what they do,
and this is what they do every day.
And if they can make
and it's a business, it's a business. No,
Over-
not three. They wanted like 5,000.
This is a kid. They wanted $300.
Kid,
Yes.
yeah. And you know what's the percentage that do pay them? Because
I think a lot pay them.
So they sent me a letter, and then I don't know. They texted me some stuff, but I have given my phone number on Grindr to other guys, and normally I can pick out the bots. They call them the bots because it could be it's an electronic thing they're doing, and they go, "Oh, we're just here for friends." We're on Grindr. No one's there for friends. So
I'm there for a friend.
Now you're there to fun.
I'm there for. I've made friends on Grindr.
Well, you can make
that I've never hooked up with,
but mostly that's what it is for. And
I agree.
But yeah, you can have these are great friends.
Friends with benefits.
Friends with benefits, but. I did that, and I think they came up they wanted 5,000 from me, and again, and this was I'd already come out to Jill. I was already moved out of the house, and I had to tell her about it, and it was just another reminder of putting her through another emotion for her to go back.
Okay,
because. It was that was the part that I was upset about, that I had to just remind her of everything again.
So let me ask you a question. Do you talk about your sexuality, and not your sex, but your sexuality, and like you shared in the last podcast, you were at a basketball game and one of the other parents was asking you and you told her you were gay. Do you have open conversations with your ex about your gayness?
No. Not at all. We don't. It doesn't, because honestly,
are you dating anybody? Have you met anybody?
She's never asked me that.
Okay. She doesn't want to know.
She doesn't want to know.
Okay.
And you know what? I respect that.
I do.
I respect that. I really do. And yes, that's a very good question, because that's where I can't really. There's a part of me that I still hold back of myself, of being my true self to her, because I feel that it will rekindle the pain for her.
Okay.
And I just don't want that pain. Yes. But, today, I have, I don't have them on now. I had them on earlier.
Oh,
my gay shoes. These are cool. Brooks. These Brooks shoes are awesome. It was Gay Pride. I don't know. They made them like 2 years ago, and I bought the pair. And they are some stylish damn shoes. They're tennis shoes, but they're really, really cool. I'll take a picture and fax it to everybody. But I had them on today, and I was dropping my boys off, and she goes, "Those are some nice shoes. How do you like these?"
But does she see the rainbow in the shoe and associate the shoes as being gay, or does she just see them as shoes?
I don't know. I didn't ask her. Because and that's a perfect example of I'm like, oh, thank you. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
See,
I would not wear these shorts around my ex.
What short?
I just think
are they your booty shorts?
No, they're just shorter shorts than I wore when I was married.
But isn't that the style's a little bit shorter?
I don't know. I think that if I wear something that looks gay, or I feel gay in them, I wouldn't wear that. I wouldn't wear those around her.
If you want to see some sexy ass shorts,
oh yeah,
the Navy SEALs, the Navy training shorts are khaki. And they are so damn short, but they look, they're hot. They're so good looking. And
I like that. I like a nice pair of short shorts.
When I was 70 pounds lighter, I wore those shorts, because when I was in the Navy, I got those shorts, and I wore them home. And I wore them to like a football at a bar. My friends were all there, and my one friend, Kelly, I walked in, she's like, she gasped. She goes, John, Jesus Christ, where's those shorts? Your nuts are hanging out. I mean, seriously, these are some short shorts. Look it up, guys. Look it up. But I was watching Airport. What was it called? Oh shit, Airport. It was one of Jimmy Stewart, and the plane crashes into the water and it sinks. And it was in 1970.
Oh wow.
Oh shit, I can't remember the name of the movie. But anyway, either Airport 77 or Airport 75. It was one of
that wouldn't have been in the 60s.
No, it was in the 70s.
Okay.
It was in the
60s.
Okay. Look at those movies, and the music is just so dramatic in the beginning, and so they called the Navy to come in and lift the plane. They were salvaging it because it sunk into the water, and all the passengers were on board and everything, and they were lifting the plane up and out of the water because they were
short shorts.
Well, hang on, I'm getting there. Because I thought it was fascinating. They go, this is going to be like a submarine reconnaissance of bringing a sub that can't come up. So they put these straps in. They had these balloons, and it all came up. But all the guys doing it were all from the Navy. They were coming off the ships. They had these shorts on, and I'm like,
all right.
Just watch it for that.
Those in West Hollywood.
Watch it. No, and you know what? Maybe I should sell them.
You could.
Maybe I should sell them.
I know what you're talking about.
These are the company shorts, and they have a belt. It's like a little built-in belt.
I don't know those. I know what you're talking about. Okay, almost like.
And then you stencil your name. I had my name stenciled.
Almost like PE coach shorts in the
but even
70s and 80s.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
I bought a pair of those coaching shorts.
Wow.
I wore to a bar. They fucking went crazy.
Right. Well, next time we go to a bar, you're gonna have to wear those.
Which I've been complimented. I have great legs.
All right.
You got good legs too.
You do have nice legs.
You got some good ones. Wow, we really went off this track.
Well, that's okay.
But let's talk about safety. So, anyone listening?
Yes, go ahead. All right.
Anyone listening, if you're on the app or what, don't ever give your phone number out, because that's the perfect thing that they can start looking at who you are. There are so many websites that you can just put somebody's phone number and then it'll come up where they live.
That's true. We know that from real estate.
Yeah, of course. Exactly. And they will start that, and they have a whole system. So if you're on the DL and you're doing your thing, do not. But the guy called me. This motherfucker called, and he has an accent too.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, I'm going to, I can't do that. I'm going to expose who you are. I go, motherfucker, go ahead. Yeah. I'm out. And you know what? You're going to help me. So fucking do it. Yeah. Post that shit and get it over with, because I'm not giving you a motherfucking dime.
Could you put a billboard in Hancock Park so I can get more clients?
Yeah, no shit. I mean, go ahead and do it. And you know what? Nothing happened.
No.
Nothing.
Well, I wonder how much of it is a threat versus who actually follows through. I don't know, but
it's a numbers game. You know what? It's a numbers game. They're calling you, and if you get a hit, you get it. If not, they go to the next one.
Turn and burn. Yeah. If they get flack, they quickly move on.
But be careful, gentlemen out there. Be careful.
Yes. So, when I was talking about that, and telling him that story about my son, and this all happened in Big Bear, and kind of brought back memories of the mindset that I was in last year.
Was that when you were in Big Bear and he did that, right?
Yes.
Was that the time that you were planning to commit suicide?
That was, well, not while I was in Big Bear, but when I got home. My boys were supposed to be with me the 4 nights I was in Big Bear. I was going to come home, drop them off at their mother's house, and then go home.
But commit suicide.
Yes. But my older son, I told you, unbeknownst to me, went home with his mother because she did the first part of the trip and I did the second part of the trip.
Right.
Because I didn't want to go on vacation with my ex-wife. It just didn't.
No, I get it. We do that too. You know what? That's common.
Okay.
It is common. Like, we'll go for a week and I'll be there for the first 3 or 4 days, and then she comes and I leave and she picks up. But we've overlapped once and had dinner one night, and then I left the next day.
Okay. My ex would probably do that, but I don't know.
I get it.
I'm still
butthurt
for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I know. Right.
So when I was there, my son shared that, and it brought back memories, and I thought about, wow, had I actually killed myself after that, I thought all the things I would have missed between last year and this year with my boys.
Yeah.
Just not being able to be there for one of them when they're in crisis. My older son called me in a panic. He got in a car accident. His car was totaled. I wouldn't have been there to help him. I wouldn't have been there to help him buy a new car. I wouldn't have. There were so many things I would have missed out on that in the moment when I was so depressed and so down, so dark, I would have never, I wasn't thinking about what I was going to miss. I just wanted to get rid of the pain that I was dealing with.
Right.
So
I'm so glad that. I'm so glad it worked the way it worked.
Well, when I talked to this guy on the phone, here's kind of the something about this is for years I thought about suicide, but I didn't have a way to do it. I hadn't thought of how I was going to do it because I didn't know a way to do it.
Okay.
Now, I didn't own a gun.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to, I've never held a gun. I don't own pills that I could overdose.
Right.
I told this guy the other day, I was like, I looked into like being in my garage and turning my car on.
Right.
I live in a townhouse. Yep. We have the little vents for safety so you couldn't sit in your car and just, turn your car. So there was all these things. And then once I discovered, this is how I could do it.
Right.
Now all of a sudden I had thoughts of doing it, but I had a means to do it also. And for me, the unfortunate thing is that once you've been depressed and you've found a way that you could commit suicide, when you're down and you're depressed and you're not feeling good, that's such a quick thought in my head. It's like such a go-to thought for me today. I'm doing terrible. I'm not feeling well.
Right.
I'm down, and immediately I have what I feel is that out. I don't know. I don't have an issue with alcohol, but I kind of feel that if somebody who's an alcoholic that's in sobriety has something bad happen, maybe one of the first thoughts in their head is, I could have a drink.
Well, they self-medicate.
Yeah.
It's self-medicate.
They could have a drink.
Eating, drinking, or having sex.
Yeah. So it's like, I could, that's just an unfortunate thought that doesn't leave my head.
Isn't it ironic that somebody who was trying to blackmail your son may have had a big part in saving your life?
I don't know. I was so dark at that time.
I know you were dark at that time, but this was in Big Bear. You had planned this out, and you just shared with us that what if I did? I wouldn't be there for my sons.
Yes.
I wouldn't be there for the wreck. I wouldn't. Yes. And you were there for his.
I know
this thing that just happened to him, and it's amazing how other situations help us.
Yes. And open your eyes, give us perspective.
I'm not saying, go and give your phone number out to everyone.
Yes.
But it's just so crazy that maybe that was the first thought in your head of not committing suicide because you need to be there for your boys. And he woke you up at 1:30 and it's like, Dad, he was in a panic. And it really, I've been depressed. I haven't been at that level, but I've been so depressed I didn't want to get out of bed or whatever. It ain't about me right now, goddamn. It was something that happened that night there that I think it switched.
I don't know. It was the universe at work.
Yeah.
It was actually, I brought that book with me that I told you.
The
my
369
Project 369 book. That book was a savior. The fact that my son went home was a savior. Yeah. It was crazy. But I look back and I think, okay, I've struggled with depression, and I've been in therapy a lot, but I struggled with depression even as a teenager. I remember as a teenager watching a movie, about...
Do you take anything?
I have. I'm not currently. I don't do well on medications. I've tried a bunch of different medications.
Really?
Nothing's really worked for me. I don't know.
Okay.
But one thing I was going to share with you, this is a little off topic, but it's on the same thing. I shared with you in one of our early podcasts that as a teenager, I was a cutter.
Yes. Yes.
I used to cut on yourself. When I was talking to this guy on the phone, it reminded me when I was 40 years old, I saw a football player and he had a branding on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, that looks so cool, because I had always thought about getting a tattoo. And I was like, oh, branding, I don't know anything about it. But I researched brandings and I found a place to go get a branding. So I called the guy, I sent him a piece of artwork. He did it out, and then I went to his studio and he gave me a branding. And it's not like a branding where they brand a steer, but it's a cauterization tool that heats up to like 500 degrees, and then they just burn this branding.
Honey, that's branding. A steer is burning. But he burned your flesh. He burned your flesh.
Yes. After I did it, my wife was so upset about it.
Well, what was
it? It looked so terrible.
What was it? Or what is it? Wow. Really?
But it's a brand.
Oh my gosh.
And this is something that therapists researched and said if somebody has a history of cutting or self-mutilation, this is a form of self-mutilation.
Do you want to show people that are watching?
Well, I don't know that anybody can really see it.
Is it the sun?
It is a sunburst.
Do you see that?
And it's raised. And it took about, I don't know,
you were 40
to heal. Yeah, I was 40 when I did it.
So what'd your wife say?
She wasn't happy. Well, she knew I was going to do it, but she really didn't know what it was.
Right.
I said, I'm going to get a branding. We talked about it. She didn't really understand, I guess, the depth of what it entailed.
Okay.
So that took about maybe 3 hours, because he sits there and first outlines it and chisels out the skin. And it was so...
he deaden it? Or
no, you can't do, because it's a cauterization tool. You can't have alcohol and stuff like that because it thins your blood. So
all right, let's go deeper. Were you enjoying it at all on any level?
Well, I was, because you had that question in therapy, because my ex dragged me to therapy after that. She's like, "Oh my God, this is sick. Something's wrong. Right. What's going on? Why are you doing this?" Did I enjoy it? I don't know. It hurt for the first couple of minutes, and then my arm was numb.
Right. But you were cutting yourself at what age?
I was cutting myself, I would probably junior high school. I had shared that I accidentally cut myself probably in 5th or 6th grade, but I didn't actively start cutting on myself until junior high school.
And when did you stop?
I stopped when I got caught.
Oh.
So...
How old were you?
I was 22.
So you're talking about 8 to 10 years you were doing that.
Yeah. But I didn't do it daily. I mean, I did it when I was
feeling distressed.
When I was just overwhelmed. When I was overwhelmed and I didn't have anybody to talk to or anything to do.
Right.
That's what I did.
We talked about taking ownership of ourselves and our lives, and there was another listener that went back to his high school or went did the
yes
law. And you did that yourself.
I did.
Yes. Do you think that and it helped you on a lot of levels?
Yes.
Did that help you regarding, did you think about you cutting yourself during that time when you did your great walk again?
No. No. When I thought about being bullied, I more thought of myself as, so it was more of an empowerment, taking my power back in doing that walk, and less about what I did with the bullying.
Was this taking your power back?
No, the interesting thing about this is, as much
when I say this, I mean what he just put on his shoulder. That's what I'm talking about.
All right.
No, I'm serious.
Was this taking my power back? No. This
So why did you do it?
Because I was watching a football game and I saw this guy who had this big raised thing on his arm, and I was like, oh, it almost looked like a scar. I was like, oh, that looks so cool. And I looked it up and I found out that he had been branded, but I think he had been branded with like an iron.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a guy that I know I played football with. He went to SMU, and the fraternity or whatever, he had a brand on his.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a full-on brand.
Yeah. Yeah, this other guy did. So I thought it looked cool. After I did it, I realized it has people that do that a lot of times. There's a history of other issues that they've struggled with. So I thought I would share that,
Well, thanks for sharing.
Kids and whatever.
You've gone through a lot, buddy. I mean, you really have.
I have.
You really have.
I have. I think we both have. We all have. We all have.
We all do. And, some deeper than others, though. And I just, I'm glad you're still with us.
Oh, thank you.
You're good.
I'm going to lighten the mood.
Okay. What a great fucking segue. Let's go. Lighten this shit.
Several podcasts ago, you told me, because I walk my dog all the time. I'm an avid dog walker. I see these good-looking guys walking by, and you said, you're supposed to turn around after you pass each other. You take a couple steps and you turn around, and if they turn around. So I put that into practice.
You did.
I'm walking my dog. I see a good-looking guy. We pass each other. I take a couple steps. I turn. I look. They never look back. Nobody's turned around yet.
Okay.
So I've done that maybe a dozen times. I'm probably more.
Well, let me ask you this: after you pass and you
Yes.
turn around, are they running faster away from you, or
they weren't walking when we were passing, and then when they passed, they're running. They're running. It may be the Navy shorts with my balls hanging out of them.
God, no, dude.
So this is kind of funny. I'm at the park. What did I say? I'm at the park, or I'm walking to the park on Thursday. It was hotter than hell.
Yeah.
I'm walking my dog to the park. This gorgeous man is running out of the park on the Paseo.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a shirt on. He has a great physique. He looked to be in his 50s. Tall guy. Just exactly what I like. Walking my dog, he runs past me. I immediately turn, and I'm kind of like just slow stepping. He keeps going. He doesn't turn around. I start to turn, and I run right into the lamppost.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to be turning around much anymore, because I
totally took a. You know what I thought you're going to run into?
What?
Another man.
Oh no! No. Ran right to the lamppost. It was hilarious. So I thought of you, and I kind of just laughed it off, and I was like, motherfucker.
Did you cuss me a little bit? A motherfucker told me to.
I laughed. I was like, okay, this.
But guess what? You did it. You did it. That's a step. This is awesome.
Listen, baby steps. Baby steps. Listen, practice.
It's interesting because, look, or at least I always looked at women. I was always looking at women.
Okay.
I was. Look, I think women are beautiful. Absolutely. But now that I'm out and I'm who I am, I can totally appreciate the beauty of men.
Yes.
The beauty of men. I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Our bodies that you see, are just insane.
Yeah.
And, but it's a little more definitely, I guess, when you're cruising and you're looking, gay men will look right through your eyes or give you, fuck me eyes.
I have not experienced it. We had a text message.
You haven't. Yeah, you haven't. You probably didn't know.
Now, we talked about this a couple episodes ago, and one of the guys texted both of us, and because I was talking about West Hollywood and guys don't make eye contact.
Right.
When, I'm down there and I see somebody that nobody's looking, and he said it's West Hollywood. So I have not had like a lingering stare with another man.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like some people that have stared at me, it's just like, oh, shit, and I just look away.
Look away?
Well, some of them, if they're ugly.
Okay.
And I'm such a
terrible.
I'm a bastard.
Oh.
I'm a bastard. But yeah, look, it's taking. I'm so glad you turned around.
Yeah, I turned around.
No, that's awesome. And when he was running toward you, was it flopping?
I wasn't. I don't know. I don't know.
You didn't
I
look
don't.
at it?
You didn't look at it? He didn't have a shirt on, and he had a nice physique.
Yeah.
I was more staring at his physique. I wasn't really looking at his package.
Pecker?
No.
His tallywhacker?
No.
So.
Well, when I run, mine's all wrapped up.
Here's your next
assignment.
Okay, here's your next assignment. I don't want you looking him in the eye.
He had sunglasses on. I couldn't look him in the
eye. I don't want you looking at his chest.
You want me to look at his package?
Just kind of look down there, hold it, and look back up. Because maybe that's a little telltale sign. He's like, oh boy, he just checked,
Well, he had these big runnings.
So you don't even know if
I don't even know if well, who runs free ball?
You go to Runyon Canyon, you walk up that canyon.
All right.
They're swinging left and right.
Oh, I go to Runyon Canyon all the time with my dog. I
don't even look though. You don't look.
I look at. I don't know. I don't.
You look, but you don't fixate on.
Yes.
On that. Look, I
look for eye contact,
and that works too.
But what the fuck, man? So we have so many friends that are listening to this, and people tell me stuff, and I can't share some of this shit because they tell me this in confidence. But this happened. This was kind of funny, and I'm not going to mention any names, but I was at the Eagle a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Oh, when I didn't want to go. You went there after our podcast, after we...
Oh, yes, and you didn't go.
This
is true.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm there with one of our friends, and he and I are talking, and this guy walks up. He was so good looking.
Yeah.
And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and we kind of had eyes.
Yeah.
And then the guy I was with started talking, and he introduced me to this other guy. I'm like, oh, this guy's really good looking. And he's looking at me, I'm looking at him. And then the guy walked away. He's like, oh, I'm going to go grab a water. And he walked away. And the guy I was with said, oh, I had a threesome with him in the bathroom a couple weeks ago when I was here. And I thought, I'm out.
Really?
There's 2 bathrooms at the Eagle. I didn't know that. There's the main one in the front. I guess there's a hookup one in the back.
There's a one, yeah, in the back.
I did not know that.
It's in the back.
All right.
Well, you know what? Here's your next assignment.
Next assignment is continue to look at the package.
Continue to look back, look at the package. But if you see a guy and he makes eye contact you at the Eagle or at a bar, walk on up.
Really?
Yeah, and just say, how you doing? And just start off there. Say, you're very handsome, Oh,
I wouldn't say that.
You what?
I wouldn't say that. No.
Say hi. Just say hi. How's it going? You know what is another great thing? It's just compliment. Hey, I love those shoes. Or I love that shirt. That's easy.
I may have been one of the only people at the Eagle that was wearing a shirt.
Right. Well, that's a great nipple ring. I like your nipple ring.
But your
nipple ring, whatever.
Your harness.
Yeah, I love your harness. And I love your dildo hanging off your neck. Just compliment them. And it's amazing.
Okay.
And look, that's in life anyway. We're in real estate.
Yes.
And when you're showing a property and, even, and I'm more comfortable now sharing compliments with the woman, the wife or whatever.
Oh, because you're not hitting on it.
I'm not hitting.
Yes.
I'm not hitting, even though, they may not know that I'm gay or anything, but like, oh my God, those beautiful earrings are, they love it. And even the men do too, because some of them have cool shoes or I'm like, hey man, I like your shoes. Oh man, thanks. You got this. It's just always a nice opener. It's just a nice opener.
All right. I'm more of a comedy person. I'm more jokey when I'm with
yeah, because I'm laughing my ass off right now because you're so funny.
Exactly.
Listen, you know what? It's. I know when we kind of put the shield up with comedy or whatever, but just being genuine. If you really like it or you don't or whatever, just compliment, and that is a great opener.
All right, you got to tell that to these listeners too. All these other men out there that are struggling with the same thing, that don't know how to pick up a man, don't know how to meet someone.
Compliment them.
Is this all part of your book that you had tattooed on your?
Yeah, this is part of it. Wait till you get to chapter 25.
Oh my God, we're at 40 minutes on this one. Before we go, Keegan Hurst. Do you know who he is? He's a social media influencer.
English professional rugby player?
Yes. He's 6'5".
Oh my.
He came out in 2015. He's on TikTok and he does new gay guy because he's gay. And I don't know. If you're on TikTok, he's got Keegan Hurst. I think he's probably on Instagram.
Okay.
Or Facebook also. But I've been following him. He's hilarious.
Is he?
He is very good looking also. Oh, and so one of his podcasts, I brought this book. This is a book that he recommended. Good as You, and it's gay on the side.
Good as You, gay.
I bought this book.
Pride, 30 years of gay Brit.
I'm always looking to read something new, so I just got this book, but I thought I would share this with the listeners. If you're looking for a book, or if you've read this book, let me know. I'm on page 17 right now.
And that's, you've had it for what, 2 months now, and you're on 17?
No, I just got this book. Actually, I lied. I'm on page 8. And I've owned it for 3 years.
Half. So
half. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really 9 inches. No,
yeah.
4.5.
Oh man! All right.
This has been good.
All right.
Good.
If you guys have questions, comments, concerns.
But if there's anything you're taking away today, there's a lot to take away, but really be careful out there with your identity and everything, because it's ugly.
Yeah. And it happened to both of us.
Yeah.
Coming inside out at gmail.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.